Hello, everyone, and welcome to the USS Kid, a little boat that could. This is a replay that I recorded just yesterday, actually, and I figured I'd release this in the meantime. I'm still working on the second episode of the Learning Curve. Things have been busy. It's been the New Year's, and I wanted to take the time to, put something out there to kind of showcase some of what I'm going to be talking about with destroyers and such. Um, so about the USS Kid, it's basically a Fletcher. You only get one set of torpedoes, unfortunately, but your AA power is pretty substantial. Now, in this replay, I'm not running the DF for some reason. I'm up against carriers. I really should be running it, but I just wasn't this time, so it's kind of unfortunate. I was a little bit AFK at the beginning of this match too. Fiji bumps me and I realize, oh, hey, I'm in a match. So come back and now we're gonna get this rolling. So the Kid is a monstrous little boat when it's top tier, and that's exactly what this situation is. We're top tier, want a good map for it. There's only two DDs to worry about. There's a Gallant and a Loyang, and you know, I could probably easily take one or the other, but taking them both is going to be a little bit difficult. I'm trying to get the New Year's raid missions done, which includes spotting and killing destroyers, doing a lot of damage to them, etc., etc. So I wanted to pick a boat that I think would do the job. It could play Akizuki, but Akizuki's slow in comparison to the Kid. Kid has the 5 USN 127mm guns. The torpedoes are very similar to Benson torpedoes, 9.2 kilometer range, kind of slow, decent alpha damage, decent flooding chance, but I mean, you've only got the one set and the reload is agonizingly slow. You've got smoke, and most importantly, you've got a heal. That already sets you apart from a lot of the competition. There's no DD besides maybe the Russian DDs at like tier 9 and 10 that gets heal. So you're the only DD at tier 8 with a heal. And not only that, this extends your health pool quite a bit. I'm not running survivability expert on this captain, but if you were to, you could potentially see your health pool, like your potential health pool, go up to 30,000. Anyways, we're contesting B. You can see that the Loyang and the Edinburgh are pushing, and also the Gallant is pushing. Being spotted by aircraft, I bop torps into the direction of the Loyang and the Edinburgh just to see if I can get the torps there before they reach cover, but I don't really think that's going to happen. You see me open up on the Gallant here, trying to get some damage on him, and I probably should be opening up on the Loyang and the Edinburgh here, but should have been doing that a little bit earlier. You'll notice the Ryujo's in a very interesting position as he drops me here, and I didn't initially realize it because I was too focused on what was inside B. And at this point, I'm playing keep away. I don't want any more enemies to enter into B, and I want this to be a small engagement, but it's already not looking good. Nobody went up to contest C, and we have one person contesting A. So this isn't on a good start, and this is at this point where I realize, wait a minute, is that a Ryujo? What the hell is he doing here? So I'm gonna exit my smoke screen. I'm gonna figure out, like, that's not real, right? That can't be. There's no way that he could possibly. You're kidding, right? So I opened fire on him because target of opportunity. He's the aircraft carrier. He can spot the team, pretty much at his own leisure if he really wanted to. But he made a huge mistake here. I can't fathom why anyone would want to do this. So I get the F3 on him. I spot him, and I start lighting him up. Notice I'm scoring some citadels here. Haven't shot at a Ryujo in a long ass time, so I'm not too sure where to shoot at it anymore, but nonetheless we take him down. That's kill number 1, but it's still not looking good. They have lost their carrier, they've also lost their Edinburgh, but we've lost one of our DDs and we've lost a cruiser of our own. And They've got C. We're down a cap. We still haven't capped. We haven't been able to push them out of B, and we have not been able to push them out of A. So at this point, I'm gonna get away from B cap. There's an Atlanta and I think a Duke of York charging from the north there. I don't really want to fight them, especially both of them at once. So I'm gonna get into A cap, and I'm gonna try to play keep away again. I want to contest this cap, and I want to push their battleships and their cruisers away from this cap as far as I can, so that I can cap it. You know, Alabama, Nelson, I think a secondary Duke of York over here. Not a secondary build, but there's a second one. So, Grash Bay and a Fiji somewhere behind that. It's some tough competition, but there's no one that can really spot me except for this Duke of York. And he's well behind an island. He's reversing for some reason. He should have stayed inside the cap circle as to prevent my progress on capping it, but I don't really care. So if he wants to do that, he can. I'm waiting for the Nelson to get in range. I smoke up and I begin opening fire. Nelson is a tough target to deal with as a destroyer unless you can hit him with torpedoes. Simply because he's got the Royal Navy super heal that really only the high tier battleships get, but Nelson gets it. And that kind of makes the withering DPM that a destroyer has almost irrelevant unless you hit him with some insane alpha. You know, all the fire damage that you do to him, all the damage that you do to him with your guns can largely be repaired, but it's when a battleship hits him in the Citadel or you hit him with a torpedo or two that it really starts hurting him. Nonetheless, if you can get a focus fire down on him, you'll take him down very easily. And he's going in and out of detection, so I'm gonna light a fire on him. I want to keep him spotted for the team so that they can take care of this guy. They can knock this guy out of the match ASAP. I don't want, you know, my teammates getting spammed with 9 rounds of 406mm Royal Navy high explosive. It's not a fun experience. I've been on the receiving end, and I've also been on the giving end. It just doesn't end well for anyone. Nelson is turning. I want to launch torps at him too. Once again, I'm kind of limited by these angles on the islands here, and I probably should have pushed out a little bit, but then I would have been spotted by the Duke of York. So I make the decision to launch torps where I could and when I could, and hopefully he'll catch maybe 1 or 2. And if he doesn't, he sees them coming. Maybe, just maybe, that forces him to turn, forces him to do something, slows him down. Doesn't matter. We've got a cap, but we're still down a lot of caps right now. Our team is getting flanked from the north. We're basically essentially trapped down here. Our carriers on the run, our ships in B are getting demolished. It's not looking good. Anyways, back to this Nelson. Nelson finally gets sick of me shooting at him from the smoke. Decides to pop a shot in my direction, goes absolutely nowhere with it. Carrier gets a beautiful drop off on the Nelson here. Hits him with 3 torpedoes. Alabama hits him with the 16-inch guns that he has. Kills him. Lo Yang takes out their Gallant, which is very surprising. The Gallant still takes out one of our guys, but they're now, it's 1 DD versus 1 DD, and I can take a fight like that easily. Grash Bay is now pushing our Fiji, and it looks like he is intending to push onto our cap as well, the only cap that we do have. He's got to be dealt with. He's very focused on the Fiji right now. I can see that just because A, the Fiji's right there, and B, Grash Bay's guns are pointed right towards him. He just fired at him. So I'm going to close the distance. Now I see the torps get lit up, and I'm like, okay, he's launched 1 set of torps already. I can start opening fire. I know that I'm probably within his torpedo arcs right now, so I launch my own set, and then he turns to the side that he already launched torpedoes. Huge mistake for him, and at this point I take advantage of it. I'm full broadside, he's full broadside, and I just start lighting him up with AP, because point blank range, I want to get as much damage as possible. I smoke up once more to kind of renew the smoke that the Fiji had, and maybe help. Hopefully I can cover him as well in the smoke, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. Duke of York takes him out, and now I've got an Alabama coming this way. Now, Alabamas are kind of a mixed game. I've seen good Alabama players and I've seen a lot of bad Alabama players, and it's unclear to me what this guy is, because he almost nearly didn't dodge a torpedo that was well and spotted by the Grash Bay. But he does make an attempt to shoot into the smoke, and he's not that bad at it, but he's not exactly great. So yeah, I'm gonna start getting damage on him once again. And keep away. I don't want them to get into this cap. I want to keep our point gains for as long as we possibly can, because right now we're down a ship, we're down a cap, or we're down 2 caps right now, and this is the only source of point income for us. It's vital that I defend this before we start pushing out. So Alabama takes a shot at me, hits me pretty hard. I should have been moving a little bit more, but he shows broadside, so I'm gonna try to switch to AP here, get some damage in. My torpedoes are about back off cooldown, so I'm gonna try to get those ready. I'm gonna try to launch those in his direction and maybe pop him with enough alpha to finish him. I'm checking his direction right now, kind of a dangerous move because he knows I've stopped firing, but I'm gonna open up on him again. He's gonna keep turning, and I'm gonna estimate how much he's turning here. I'm gonna pop it a little bit ahead of the spread, and then Loyang pops up. Now, why the Loyang is not hydroing me, I could not tell you, but he's not. Alabama closes to within spotting range of my firing range within smoke. I thought I would have killed him here with the flooding. Apparently he had DCP ready. Who knew? But I'm gonna take out this Loyang because I can. It's the easiest target for me to kill right now. I probably could finish off this Alabama, and I will finish off this Alabama. I pick up the 3rd kill on the Loyang. I switch to AP, maybe a little bit late, but I'm gonna pop it into a superstructure. I'm gonna switch back to the HE. I know he doesn't have DCP anymore. If I can light a fire on him while he's healing, I can negate the healing that he has, and then if I can light a 2nd fire, which I do, thank you RNG, I can kill this guy. Kill number 4. Okay, we're picking it back up, but we're still at a major point deficit, and it's still not looking clear who's gonna win this. I'm spotted kind of in an awkward position, but there's not really a whole lot that can shoot at me. Byron in the back is gonna attempt to take shots, but he's got German dispersion. It's not gonna hit. And the way he's ripple firing, it's really, really unlikely to hit. I'm gonna pop my last heal. I'm gonna do what I can to the Byron, and I get 2 fires on him. That's really good because that's gonna force a DCP pop. Alabama is now heading in the direction of the Byron, and the secondaries, you wouldn't expect secondaries on the Alabama, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it, but it's something you can do, or your secondaries are at least viable in that close enough, they fire fast, and they can set fires, and that's pretty important. You want the extra DPM when you're brawling close range like that. And Duke of York's incoming. We need to get him because he's now halting our capture point. We're still on top of it, which means he can't cap it, but because he's on top of it, we're not gaining any points. So that needs to be reversed very quickly. I light him on fire here. I'm going to reverse around the corner because I really don't want to get shot by him. It doesn't matter if he loads AP or HE, he will do a lot of damage to me because those guns are very accurate. Dispersion's very tiny. And AP has the short fuse, HE is just ridiculous. But my torpedoes cinched the kill on him. Turned the wrong way. Kind of estimated where he was going to try to go. I get the Kraken, get the Confederate. And we're still pulling this back, but we're still down on points. Luckily, we are no longer down on ships. We have a 2-to-1 advantage right now. And this Byron is all by himself, and he's about to be focused by the full brunt of our team. Alabama is now closing the distance, and as you can see, Alabama's secondary set afire. Due to the fact that I set 2 earlier, this Byron does not have the DCP to mitigate that, so if he starts taking really heavy damage from the Alabama's guns, which he's probably about to, there's no way that he can pop a DCP and prevent taking extra damage over time while he waits for a reload. He's now on a double fire, his health is draining extremely quickly. And at this point, he's not going to last long. I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that this Byron dies really fast. The Alabama thankfully does not go for the ram. I think that would have been maybe not the smartest move. They only have a Fiji left, but I don't trust it. The Gneisenau has been sitting in the back all match. I don't know how much help he would be. The Mogami is on a good chunk of health, but you never know. It's better safe than sorry. But we've definitely pulled it back at this point. All we have to do is cap, kill the Fiji. Fiji has made the decision to come back for some reason. I guess he was going to try to help the Byron, but would have just ran. And you know, now he's coming back. He's spotted by firing at the Gneisenau, and at this point, this game is pretty much over. You know, there's no way he can get back out of this now, and unless he pulls some godly move of torpedoing or Alabama or Gneisenau, shooting me, shooting Mogami, there's no way he's gonna win this game. And true to form, rounds the island full broadside in front of an Alabama. Alabama will take his shot, hit him extremely hard, and then I'll finish him for the kill. And this is a very excellent game for me. I know 128,000 damage is not the highest, but getting the 6 kills, definitely up there with some of the best. And you know, it feels good to get this kind of damage in. So that'll about conclude it. You know, I'll try to get the second episode of the learning curve popped out shortly. Update 0.7 or yeah, 0.7.0 is out. So I gotta check if my replays still work and are still valid, and maybe update some of the information. But I don't think there's anything to update. And I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. You know, I've got a busy schedule. We'll be playing Supremacy League. King of the Sea tournament is coming up, so I've got to take part in that. But you know, I'll get it out when I get it out, and I'll let you guys know when I do. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like I said, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.